feet in so that you are squeezing on that ball. So you're not out here. You actually got a good grip on that ball. Shoulders roll up, back, and down. Deep breath in, exhale, pull your ribs. All right, so beautiful Pilates posture always means you're elongating from the top of the head. Your abs are gently pulled in, but you're not doing it so much that you tuck your hips under. From there, we're just going to work on some calf raises. So you're going to come up on your toes, lifting those heels off the ground. Yeah, don't forget to mute yourself and you'll click on the, if you're a little uncertain how to do that, say your name. I'm doing it for you. I did not say at the beginning, mute yourselves. So my apologies. Good, couple more here. Last time, stay up, pull those ribs down, practice that balance for 4, 3, 2, and 1, come down. All right, now you're gonna lift your toes up and you're gonna be on your heels, and they may not be able to come up very far, no big deal. You should feel work in the muscles, your anterior tibialis, the muscles in the fronts of your shins. And you're lifting, good, and lifting, keep going. Good, couple more like that. Awesome. And then we're gonna put those two movements together. So we're gonna roll up onto our toes, come down on your heels and lift your toes. Up on the toes and then lift the heels. Toes, heels, toes, and heels. Good, keep that going, couple more here. Last 2, and then we're going to stay up on those toes again. Stay up on those toes, pull your abs in, pull those ribs down, bring your arms in front, holding, holding. For 4, go a little higher, 3, a little higher, 2, a little higher, 1, and bring that down. And then we're just going to bring that ball up now in between your inner thighs. Good. Shift your weight onto your right leg, and you're going to keep that right leg straight for now. You're going to turn your left toes in just a little bit and squeeze the ball. Squeeze the ball. So you should feel inner thigh work. And then notice, especially if you happen to have, I have a less squishy ball, so I really feel this come all the way up into those low abdominals. So this is about squeezing in, squeeze in, and squeeze in. Then shift your weight onto your left leg. Lift that right leg, turn the toes slightly in, squeeze in, squeeze in. Good, just some inner thigh work here. And squeeze. And relax. All right, we're gonna head down to the ground now. We're gonna do our quads and our hamstrings while we're on the ground. Sorry, need to do a little readjusting here. You're gonna start sitting up and have that ball with you, please. Okay, so you're gonna sit on that ball with your left glute. You guys know this, this happy one. Your right leg is off to the side. You're sitting up as tall as you can. In a moment, you may find you want to slump back. And what you're going to do is do your best to help keep yourself lifted by putting those hands down. So right leg is not only off to the side, but you're going to rotate it open so that inner thigh is towards the ceiling. Point it, flex it, point it, flex it, point it, flex it, point it. Keep it pointed. Lift the leg off the ground. Hello, quads. Flex and point. Flex and point. Flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. Come down. Point it. Lift it off the ground. Go 1 inch higher. 1 inch higher. 1 inch higher. 1 inch higher. A little bit more. A little bit more. And bring it down. Flex through the heel. Bring it off the ground. And lift 1 inch. and lift 1 inch, and lift, and lift, and lift, and lift, and lift, and lift, come down. Point it again, lift it off the ground, bend it, reach, reach, stretch it, use that inner thigh, reach, use that quad, reach, and bring it down. Flex through the heel, lift it off the ground, bend it, and push, 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 sit tall, push, push, and bring it down. Okay, last round, we put it all together. Here we go, sit nice and tall. Leg off the ground, point it, flex it, point it, lift it, flex it, lift it, point it, bend it, stretch it, flex it, bend it, stretch it, point it, flex it, point it, lift it, flex it, lift it, point it, bend it, stretch it, flex it, bend it, stretch it. Ow, 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 ow. Roll off that ball. Tuck that right leg behind you, drop onto your left arm. Push your hips so that they are stacked rather than rolled backwards, and that should already start to give you that stretch down your quad. Lift that right arm up, stretch, stretch, stretch. You could open towards the back of your room, or you can also close that rib to hip connection, and that will take that deeper in your hip flexor. Good, put that left arm on the ground and lift yourself up. Come on up. You know what's coming. Bring that ball slightly under your right glute. Sit up nice and tall. Left leg goes off to the side. You're gonna point it, you're gonna rotate it open so the inner thigh is facing the ceiling, big toe to the sky. Point, flex, point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. This is easy on the ground, isn't it? Last 2. Last 1, now it comes off the ground, point it, flex, flex, point and flex, beautiful, point and flex, point, flex. If you lean back to do that, try and sit a little taller, 3, 2, and 1, bring it down, point the toes, lift it off the ground, lift 1 inch, and an inch, and a lift, and a lift, and a lift, 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 and bring it down. Flex through that heel, sit nice and tall. Woo, lift an inch and an inch, a little more, a little more. And bring it down. Point those toes again. Lift it off the ground, bend it, reach, reach, really stretch, stretch. Think ballerina, push, push, and bring it down. Woo, flex through that heel, bring it off the ground, press through the heel, and press, and press. And bring that down. Okay, everything together. Here we go. Y'all ready? Deep breath in. Sit beautifully tall. Lift that leg off the ground. Point it, flex it, point it, lift it, flex it, lift it, point it, bend it, stretch it, flex it, bend it, stretch it, point, flex, point, lift, flex, lift, point, bend, stretch, flex, bend, stretch. Ow. Roll off that, please. Tuck that left leg behind you. Notice how the hip wants to roll with it. Bring your hip forward to open that up. Lift the arm. You can reach behind you, or you can tuck that rib and hip a little closer, taking that into a slightly different stretch. And then mosey your way back front to a seated position, please. So when you sit up on that ball or we use it underneath us, then we're creating that instability, which of course obviously creates challenge. From here, seated position, bring that ball between your knees. Try to bring your feet, your knees, and your hip bones nice and even here. Shoulders up, back, and down. Squeeze the ball. As you exhale, hinge back, tuck your ribs in. Inhale, open your arms, and then lower them to come up. Inhale, relax the squeeze. Exhale, squeeze the ball, roll back, keep the squeeze, open the arms, exhale, up, inhale at the top. Exhale, squeeze the ball the whole time as you're moving. Release it as you come up, just don't drop it down. And keep that going for me, please. So squeezing that ball when you're leaning back, and then relaxing it when you come all the way up. 2 more. Beautiful. So that inner thigh squeeze should help you feel those abs a little bit more. Remember how that felt squeezing the ball? And then just roll down and bring that ball back between your knees again. You're gonna hug your knees into your chest, get a nice little low back stretch. And then we're gonna lift those legs into our tabletop position. But I'd like you to bring your feet together, big toes and heels are touching. So you might be, depending on how squishy your ball is, you might have a little bit of turnout with your knees. But give it a squeeze and notice how that flattens your abs. Fingers to the sky, shoulders pressed down, ribs flatten, deep breath in. Exhale, pull your belly button in, squeeze the ball as you slowly lower the legs forward as if you're gonna touch the ground, and exhale to lift back up. So toe touch exercise. As always, this is all about keeping that low back the same distance from the ground throughout your range of motion, not letting those abs pop up, taking it nice and slow. Now, you could flex your feet back towards your face and make this sort of a heel tap. That puts you in a little bit more of a froggy position. But make sure you are squeezing that ball between your knees, please. You're going to do 2 more like this, and then we're going to do a different version. Nice. Take your time on the way back up. Beautiful. Feet on the ground. Take that ball, put it right at your thigh, where your thigh and your hip connect, and then lift your hips up and slide the ball underneath your booty. So it's underneath your glutes, not underneath your low back. Hands on the ground. Notice this really makes my ribs pop. So you're going to use your abs to pull those ribs down and then bring your legs a little bit in towards your chest, because that would be your tabletop here. All right, that should push your low back towards the ground. Reinforce that pelvic tilt by pulling your ribs and your abs in. Okay, first challenge is to lift the arms up, and notice that you might be on that wobbly ball now. So then as we do our toe touches now, your toe isn't actually going to touch because that will put you in extension. Make it nice and slow on the way back up. If this feels like a little much for you, you are welcome to do one leg at a time, right? A single leg toe touch. You can do both legs as a toe touch, or you can do both legs as a heel flex. You could spin those legs open again and go into your froggy position, and then you're choosing whether you want that to be a toe touch or a heel tap. This is one of those exercises that really, if you could do 4 of high quality, it would be probably as good as doing 10 without that focus. And then when you're ready, well, let's say now, bring that out from under you and hug that into your chest for just a second. Now let's put that ball where your feet were a moment ago. And then your feet go up on that ball. I just skipped right into this bridge, so a little bit of extra challenge here. Squeeze your knees together. They're going to want to gap open, so I'm going to ask you to zip your inner thighs up. Bring your hands down by your sides and lift yourself up into that bridge. Okay, so first option is simple. Roll the ball forward and back a couple times and feel that in your hamstrings. Not so much that they start to cramp. And again, depending on the size of the ball you're using today, your range of motion may be different. All right, relax. Bring that down. Bring one hand around each leg for a moment. Quick little hamstring stretch. All right. Feet back on the ball. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift up. Okay, next challenge, lift your fingers up in the air. So now you're on that wobbly surface with your feet, and that should be more challenging. You are welcome to simply stay here. You could roll the ball in and out if you wanted, or you could lower your hips and lift your hips, and lower and lift. Make sure as you do this, this is not that nice, beautiful, stretchy articulation of the spine. This is working the glutes and the hamstrings, so we don't tuck, we just lift and lift. And again, keep those knees close together. You should feel this in your hamstrings and your glutes. And relax. Again, woo, one hand around each leg. All right, let's do one more bridge. Again, a little more challenging. This time, you're gonna roll that ball underneath your left foot only. Hands down, lift up into your bridge. Now you have options. First option is to lift that right leg off the ground and extend it up in the air. And then other options, roll the ball in and out, just like you did a moment ago, or lift and lower. Keep going. And come down. Woo, I hope that left hamstring and glute felt that. Let's roll the ball underneath your right leg, please. Lift up. Now you could do, sorry, I didn't say this on the other side, but you could just lift your arms up and use just the right leg, keeping the left foot on the ground, but I know you want more challenge, so left leg is up. Ball can roll in and out, or you can lift and lower. And relax. Let's bring, again, one leg around or in, and one hand around each leg. You could even straighten out those legs, pull them back towards your face, flex through those heels, and then point the toes, and everything comes back in. All right. We're gonna roll part of the way up and place that ball between our shoulder blades. So it puts us on a slightly seated angle here. Now we want to support the head, but we don't want to support the head by interlacing our fingers and pulling on it. We want to just take the tips of the fingers, keep the elbows wide, nod the head yes, and just let it rest in those fingertips. Notice that as I allow my head to drop back, but not lifting the chin, chin stays tucked, my ribs are lifting up towards the sky. And that's okay right now because we're going to lower that head and get that expansion across the chest. But then to make this work, we're going to push the ribs against the ball and lift up just to where we started. We're not coming way up here, right? So deep breath in, exhale, inhale, allow the head to drop backwards without tipping the chin, and then exhale, close the ribs. Inhale to open, and exhale to close. This is all about getting that pre-stretch and then closing down. Now, if you want to make this a little more challenging, crisscross your wrists, cradle your head, up and over, and exhale to come up. So this makes it a wee bit more challenging because I have both arms over my head now, so it adds extra weight or resistance. If you want more challenge, you have to keep your head squeezed between your arms, but you extend your arms, you keep your ears by your biceps, make sure every single time you're closing that rib cage. So you open and close, ribs open, pull your abs in on an exhale to close those ribs, and inhale to open, and exhale to close. Now, if you're looking for a little more challenge, when you come up, you're going to lift a knee into tabletop, one at a time. But just because you started doing this, please don't forget about the up and over part. Now, if you wanted one last challenge, stack your legs in tabletop the whole time, and you could choose to extend a leg when you come up. That's a lot, so if that's not working, you go to something that is working for you, please. Nice. All right. If you would like, you're going to turn this into a stretch. So you're gonna open your arms to the side in a T position. Options, you could let your head drop back, but if that feels like a lot to you, too much cervical extension, just bend your elbows, rest them on the ground, and support your head. But it should still give you a big stretch across your chest. If all of that feels bad, you just roll forward until that ball is underneath your head for a pillow. Because you know it's nap time. All right, rest time, stretch time, we're done. Sorry, guys. Ball into your hands, legs straight above you, please. Deep breath in. Exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Bring the right leg towards you and bring that ball behind you. So I just made your arms a little bit longer to make this scissor stretch a little stronger. You can keep the right toes pointed as you bring them towards your face, or you can flex through the heel for a deeper stretch and to get at that calf that we got to earlier. Inhale, switch it up, left leg comes in. Focus on that left leg coming in, elbows wide, chest lifted. Flex through the heel if you want that deeper stretch. Inhale, switch it up. Exhale, bring that leg in. Inhale, switch. Exhale, leg in. Inhale, switch legs. Pull it in. Think about each time you exhale and you lift up, bring yourself closer to your leg, not just your leg closer to you. And we're going to relax. Let that ball just rest on your shins now. Deep breath in. On the exhale, float your head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Roll the ball to your ankles or as close as you can. Roll it back. Stay lifted. Reach your arms and legs opposite direction. Exhale. Bend your knees. Roll the ball down your shins and back up. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Roll the ball. Come back. Extend and roll and extend. So my head, neck, and shoulders, just a reminder, you guys, your head, neck, and shoulders are either up the whole time or down the whole time. They're not lifting up and down. So keep that head lifted for me, please, the whole time, or down on the ground the whole time. Nice, because we don't want to overstrain that neck, please. Two more. And last time, you're gonna roll down and put your feet on the ground. Take the ball and put it up against your right thigh. Place your hands on top of each other so that you're kind of using your arms. You're gonna push that ball against the right thigh. And as you do that, you'll feel some tricep work in your arms. But then exhale, pull your belly button in. And now the leg gets to get into this action. So you're gonna lift that right leg into tabletop. Press against the right leg at the same time you press with your hands. You should start to feel some ab work, and then finally extend that left leg straight up and maybe out to a 45-degree angle. Press against that right thigh, and now you should really feel that ab work. Bend both knees, place them on the ground. Bring the ball to your left thigh, stack your hands up, maybe reverse the stack. Press against that ball, feel those triceps engaging. Deep breath in, exhale, lift that left leg up and create that equal resistance. And then finally, abs flat, right knee in, up, out to about a 45-degree angle, pressing against that left thigh. Inhale, take a break. So it's our single leg stretch, but with us creating that little extra resistance. With the breath, here we go, fun times, both legs into tabletop. Ball against the right thigh. Exhale, reach to your left toes as you press against the right thigh. Hold for a moment. Inhale, switch it up. Exhale, reach to those right toes. Press against the left thigh. Inhale to switch. Exhale, press, reach. Inhale, switch. Exhale, press, reach. Inhale, switch. Abs in. ribs flat. Now you can certainly do this with the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. I already feel like I have a lot going on, so I'm going to keep my head down for now. And relax. Oh, so much. You're going to roll over to face me, please. You're going to put that ball down so that it ends up at the ankle of your bottom leg, even up onto the shin, okay, but not the foot. Then you're going to bring your torso into a straight line with that, and you're going to stack your hips. So if you have a nice kind of firm ball, it'll be wobbly, and you might feel like, what? I'm falling off of this, right? So you're going to do your best to use that bottom leg by first flexing through the heel and pressing down on the ball, and use that to lift your bottom waistline off the ground. So the waistline that's touching the mat is no longer touching the mat. And then you're pressing down with that bottom leg, and then that left leg is just gonna, or top leg is gonna point and flex on the way down. But all this time, I'm using that bottom leg to push down on that ball. Now, if you wanted to, you could take that arm that's under your ear, and you could lift the elbow and lift your head with it. But did your ribs collapse? Don't let them. So now a little extra challenge here, because all I have touching the ground, I have my ankle touching my ball. Now it sounds weird. I have my hip on the ground and I have my hand on the ground. And that's it. Abs are in. A lot going on here. Whoops. So top leg, of course, is working, but bottom leg is not on vacation. And relax. Ooh, hopefully you guys could feel that a little bit. We're going to stay on this side. We're going to bend the knees and grab that ball and put it between our ankles this time. Okay, we're going to be doing some side planks. So your first option is to be on the sides of your thighs, but all 10 toes are up in the air. Right? Your second option, you only have 2 on this one, is to straighten out the legs and be here. Okay, so choose whichever one you want. Flex through your top leg, squeeze down on the ball, but don't let the hip drop. So when you squeeze down, you're not going up and down with your hip. You push down with your leg, but up with your hip, down with your leg, but up with your hip, both at the same time. Try and be in a long straight line. That means hips are forward, chest is open. Press squeeze. Press squeeze. And relax now. All right, from there, we're going to bring that ball in front of us. Again, you can be on the sides of your thighs or with straight legs, but when we come up, you're going to slide that ball so it just touches some part of your body. You can rest on it for a second, push that shoulder back, lift up out of it, engage your lats. And then come off that ball, and then remind it you're there. Lift and tap, lift and tap, lift and tap. Now, mine's a little ladybug here, right? So if I squish that ball too hard, ow, right? There's no luck in that. Ow! Be nice to your ladybug. So do not squish your cat here, please. And last time, bring it down. We have one more side plank. You guys know what's coming. It's that balance side plank. So I'm going to take my bottom leg and again, put my ankle on it, leaving myself a lot of space for the front top foot. And then lift up into your side plank. And then once you're there, maybe straighten out those legs and hold that side plank. Good. Beautiful. If this one is a little bit challenging or not good for you, go back to one of the previous ones, please. You guys look good. And then we are gently coming down and rolling over to the other side, please. So you'll remember that we started this with that ball underneath the ankle of the bottom leg. So again, make sure it's ankle or shin, not way up or not way down on your foot. So you've got that challenge, especially if you have a very rolly ball. All right, top hand on that top leg. Point that top leg, exhale, flex, lift. I'm pushing down with that bottom leg the whole time. Added option is to lift up so that just your hand, your hip, and your ankle are the things that are on, or that are grounded, or at least touching the ball. Keep that waistline lifted. And relax. Woo, bend those knees. Grab that ball and put it between your ankles. Slide your elbow right underneath your shoulder. Push the shoulder back, lift up out of it, and engage those lats. So again, if you're going to be on the sides of your thighs, you want to push the knees back and then lift up and get all 10 toes off the ground. That's one option. The other option is simply that straight-legged plank. And then once you're there, you can choose to push down with that top leg, but as you do so, you don't let the hip drop, right? So as you push down, you resist it with that bottom hip. Push down and lift up, push down and lift up, push and lift, both at the same time. And gently come down. All right, now that ball, let me put my ladybug where you can see her. Now that ball is coming in front of you before you come up in your plank. Get that shoulder out of your ear, create a lot of beautiful space, long swan neck, come up, put it where it barely touches some part of your body. Love it, get off. Love, off. Little love taps, right? Being nice to this little baby ladybug. Just a few more like that. And then come on down. Final option, if you want, is the balance option. So the bottom leg goes on first, the top leg comes in front with the arch of the foot on that, right? And then you straighten it out once you get there. So you choose any of those. Nice. Beautiful. And come on down. As you come down, we are going to mosey over onto our abdominals. We're going to point our toes. As always, the ball is going to be out in front of you. Your big toes are touching. Your toenails are flat on the mat, and bring your heels in to touch. Let your heels open, legs go pigeon-toed, and then squeeze the heels together. And open, one more time, close, one more time, open and close. Keep the heels together, toes on the ground. Lift your kneecaps, engage those quads, squeeze the glutes to keep the toes down. And then bring that ball out in front of you. Hands on the ball, deep breath in. On the exhale, lift your head up a tiny bit, still looking down at the ground. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and that will lift you up a little bit, but the movement is coming from the shoulder blades. Deep breath in at the top, exhale, roll down, inhale. Exhale, lift, but squeeze the shoulder blades together to create that lift. And down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, lift. Inhale at the top, hold, and exhale down. Inhaling, exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Make sure those heels are staying together. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale down 2 more times. Nice job, you guys. Make sure that lift is coming from the shoulder blade squeeze. So we're working posture muscles, not low back muscles. And relax. The low back is working just as a stabilizer. Bend those knees for me, please. Bring the soles of your feet together. Knees go outward. And the ball goes between your feet. All right. Hands stack up. Forehead rests. Deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze that ball together. Squeeze your feet together to squeeze the ball. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift and squeeze and relax. Exhale, lift and squeeze, relax. And lift, squeeze, relax. Lift, squeeze, using those glutes. Head stays down. Lift, squeeze. Lift, squeeze. 2 more. Lift, squeeze, last time, lift, squeeze. Woo, bring that ball where you can grab it or not. And we are going to sit back in our resting position. Hands can be in front of you or down by your sides. And just hanging back, stretching out that back. As you come forward, you're going to put the ball in the center of the mat so that you can rest your belly button on it. Good. Let's bring those hands apart, shoulders out of your ears, collarbone lifts, chin nods, yes. Deep breath in. On the exhale, start to lift your collarbone, your chest, your ribs, coming into a baby plank, all the way up onto your thighs, fronts of your thighs, or tuck your toes, come up into a regular plank. And then see if you can move your ball forward and back without squishing it. Very gentle movement here. So just awareness of keeping those abs lifted enough that they're not squishing your ball. Otherwise, you'll create a flat tire and it won't be very easy to roll. Nice. A few more here. You guys look great. Hands are apart, remember. Relax, come back down. Windshield wiper your legs side to side if you would like. And then we're going into a front. And if you want, you're going to try that balance. So the ball could be under your ankles or the fronts of your toes. Hands apart, find your plank. Head in line with your spine, abs drawn in. Option, you could do a baby little pike if you wanted to, like pulling the belly button in and rolling that ball in. You do not have to do that. Good, a few more here. All right, as you come up, meet me in your mermaid position with that ball underneath your left glute. Left leg in front, right leg off to the side, please. Notice if your hips are skewed, try and square your hips up. Arms out to the side. Deep breath in. Exhale, we're going over to your left, tap your fingertips, lift them off the ground. Hold, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, lift up. Inhale. Exhale, over to your left, tap your fingers, and then lift them off the ground. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, up and over, tap your fingers, but then lift them off the ground. Hold, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back up on the exhale. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, up and over, tap your fingers, but then lift them up. Exhale, lift one more time. Inhale, tall. Exhale, up and over, tap the fingers, lift them up. Lift your fingers up into a V, come up, 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 and sit up. Ooh, that last one should have been a little challenging. Switch it up. Roll that ball underneath your right glute for me, please. Left leg off to the side. Sit tall in your mermaid, arms into a T. Tip over to your right, but then lift those fingertips off the ground and come up on the exhale. Inhale. Exhale, up and over. Hold on that side, lift your fingertips, and exhale up. Inhale. Exhale, up and over, tap, but then lift, and bring it up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, up and over, tap, lift, inhale, hold. Exhale, up, inhale, top. Exhale, up and over, tap your fingers and lift them. Hold, 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 hold. Exhale, up, one more like that. Exhale, over. Hold on the inhale, start bringing your fingers, or legs, arms, what are these things, into a V. Lift, lift, ah! And then come up. Whoops. Come off that ball for me, please. All right. Bring that ball up against your low back. At the beginning of class, we did a roll down. We had the ball between our knees. Now, big toes together, knees together, abs drawn in. Notice if your feet are to one side, it might be subtle, but try and square that up. Is it your feet that are not centered, or is it your hips? So center it up, shoulders out of your ears. Exhale, pull your belly button in, hinge back. You're not rolling over the ball though, right? Just to the ball. Inhale, open your arms, but because you have this support, maybe you can bring them into a V or even up over your head, but make sure those ribs stay pulled down. Exhale, lower. Come up only a couple inches on the exhale. Inhale. Exhale back. Do something challenging with your arms. Lower the arms. Come up on an exhale. Inhale at the top. Exhale to hinge back. Inhale, something challenging with your arms. Ribs stay in though. Lower the hands to come up. Inhale. Exhale, hinge. Ribs stay flat. Arms do something fancy. Exhale, back up. Few more here. Last time, exhale, hinge back. Bring your arms into that T. See if you could make them into a V. Could you bring them up over your head? Whatever you do, keep the ribs in. You are holding, we are holding, holding, holding. Abs drawn in, ribs flat. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, sit nice and tall. Bring those legs out, grab the backs of your thighs. Exhale, hinge forward. Look, just a little baby spine stretch here. And then we're going to sit nice and tall and move that ball out of the way. We're going to roll down and then bring that ball in front of your shins for me, please. Bring your hands on top of that and squeeze that ball down against your shins and feel how that should translate to a nice low back stretch. Then bring that ball towards your face a little bit to bring those knees a little closer. Notice how your tailbone curls up. And now roll the ball down your shins a little bit. Let the knees move away a little bit. Flatten out that sacrum. Your low back will lift up, no big deal. Exhale, tuck in. Inhale, move away. Exhale, tuck in. Inhale, move away. One more time. Exhale, tuck in. Put your right foot on the ground for me, please. Bring that ball around behind your left knee and take your hands to pull that left knee in so it curls up, and then roll it away. And curl it up and in, and roll it away. And one more time, curl it up and in, and let's go ahead and straighten out the right leg if you can. Flex through that right heel, bring that left knee even closer. Let it take a rock to the left, down through center, over to your right, and pull it up and in towards your right shoulder. Deeper, deeper, deeper stretch. Can you even grab hold of that leg and pull it a little more without lifting that left hip too far off the ground? So now I've got my knee pulled in and over, and you should get a nice stretch down the outside of that left hip. And finally, we're going to let it go all the way over to a twist. Option to roll that ball underneath your left knee to give yourself a little bit more mild of a twist. Good. As you come back through center, cross that left ankle over the right thigh, passive figure 4, and then left leg beside the right. Hopefully the left one feels better. Bend both knees again for me, please. Ball behind that right leg. Hold on to that ball. Roll it in so you feel that low back press into the ground, and then hips roll up, and then inhale, move forward. And exhale, pull back in. And inhale, move forward. And now we're going to try and pull back in and stretch out that left leg. Much deeper stretch here. Knee moves to the right, and then away from you, and then up and over to the left. And then maybe you can grab and pull that shin a little deeper and a little farther, but the right hip doesn't lift all the way up quite yet until we go into that twist. And again, you can let the leg rest on the ground, or you can put the ball underneath that knee for a little bit of support. Gently, that right ankle crosses over the left thigh, passive figure 4, please. And then legs beside each other. You're going to make your way over onto your hands and knees, please. As you do so, you can unmute yourselves for cat-cow. Now, that ball in your left hand. Exhale, round into your and exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. Now move that ball underneath your right hand. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow.